Your party may not be able to rely on post-COVID inflation crisis that was fueled by, war in the breadbasket of Europe and supply.
David, you know this. You know that inflation is caused when governments print money.
Well,
that's what the Liberals did. The Liberals flooded the economy with brand new cash. It has nothing to do.
They spent money. They didn't print money. The Bank of Canada did not increase the number of banknotes in circulation in the economy. They used settlement balances. They used settlement balances to buy government bonds to put liquidity. I'm not being dishonest.
They created money out of thin air. They massively expanded the money supply. You know this.
They did not permanently increase the money supply, Mr. Scheer. But anyway, I don't want to have an argument on monetary policy. They used settlement balances to buy bonds, to lower interest rates, to put liquidity into the banking system, and then they remove those settlement balances over time. So,
are you denying that there is more currency, whether it's digital or real, in the Canadian economy today? Are you denying?
I'm saying they use settlement balances, and you're calling it money for it. There may be a small marginal increase, but it is not the anyway. Everybody had anyway. All right, here we go. But I want to ask about, we just disagreed on something here.
Incompetent finance minister not know the inflation target. She doesn't know that you lock in low rates when you have the chance. Remember the Prime Minister was saying, don't worry, we can double the national debt because interest rates are low. Glenn, problem is, I told him at the time that they should lock in those rates for 10 years or 30 years with long-term bonds. It turns out they didn't do that, and now $400 billion of that debt will roll over into these higher rates, forcing Canadians to spend more on interest than on health care. Why did he hire the worst mortgage broker in the world to be our finance minister?
Cochrane gets humiliated by Andrew Scheer, gets destroyed, but he holds his ground. And at the end, he's like, oh, we just got a disagreement here. Pierre Poilievre called him out for that. He actually told them to put the money in bonds, and they didn't do it. They printed the money out of thin air. Not just a bit. Now, Cochrane here is trying to blame the inflation caused by Justin Trudeau's government on Ukraine and Russia war. What is this, the Joe Biden defense? That's exactly what Joe Biden's government said when it happened. They were blaming the inflation. You just printed $1 trillion. Shut up, man. Either way, what he says right there, Cochrane, it still causes inflation. What he just said there still causes inflation. And Pierre Poilievre is the proof of that, because there's always a clip of Pierre Poilievre calling them out on their bull, on their BS. And that clip will be there forever.
Canadians in the NHL play for a variety of teams passionately against each other. But when they're in a once-in-a-lifetime series such as the Four Nations or the Olympics, those same Canadians come together to win it all. During elections, Canadians play and cheer for different teams. Now that election is over, and we are in a once-in-a-lifetime crisis. It's time together, it's time to come together to put on our Team Canada sweaters and win big.
Well, I thought that was one of the most substantive news conferences that I've seen a Prime Minister hold in a decade.
Robert Fife, why don't you just go shine his shoes, man? You're in the last decade, so you're comparing him to Justin Trudeau, basically? You're comparing him to Justin Trudeau. That's one of the best news conferences I've seen given by a prime minister in the last decade. Guys, we now have a new standard, the Justin Trudeau standard. In the last decade, there was only one prime minister. It was Justin Trudeau. You're comparing him to one guy when the bar is so high. Man, the bar is so high when you compare the guy to Justin Trudeau. What an idiot, bro. What an idiot. I can't believe this. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and share the video if you want to help us out. Thanks for watching.
It's not science, it's politics. I've been listening to this for 50 years. In the 60s, it was oil will be gone in 10 years. In the 70s, it was another ice age in 10 years. In the 80s, it was acid rain will destroy all the crops in 10 years. In the 90s, it was the ozone layer will be destroyed in 10 years. In the 2000s, it was the glaciers will all melt in 10 years. In the 2010s, it was the east and west coast will be underwater from rising sea levels in 10 years. None of this fear-mongering nonsense came true, but it did result in higher taxes every time.